This section is about the service offering. So in this section, we are going to present the entire service offering of the initiative that we have already anticipated in the past slide, but we are going to detail them more. So to summarize, here we have an overview map. So in the left side of the slide, we mention the already implemented services. So the test infrastructure, it is your core service, the platform itself. Then we have the onboarding and stakeholders follow-up. That is your end-to-end advisory for the entire process, and the service desk. Also, we can see the future and potential business services that we are going to release during this year and to be available for the next year. The community building and innovation portal, a data catalog, a big data and analytics software catalog, the analytics as a service, and the support for analytics implementation. We can start from the core service, the test infrastructure. This service provides the big data platform and all the data analytics tools supplied by the European Commission through a platform as a service, so cloud-based. Through this service, public administration can implement their own pilot project, or if they want, just to experiment with big data technologies. Here, the needs for a public administration is the needs of an analytical sandbox environment, since there is a lack of big data technologies in the public sector. And the service provides this ready-to-use environment, respecting privacy policies and using open source tools. As an outcome of this service, of course, the public administration can test their big data use cases through a pilot project. And as we anticipated in the first slide, in the definition, just before deploying it into their production environment. So it's really important to stress this fact. This infrastructure is for pilot projects and for public administration that wants to start experiment with big data technologies. The next services is an additional services, but it's really important service, since will guide the public administration throughout the entire process. So to facilitate the onboarding process and also to follow up at the end of the pilot projects. Here, the needs is that a public administration wants to use the test infrastructure service, but maybe doesn't know better how it works, how derive their business needs to the technical resources that the big data test infrastructure needs to implement this pilot, and so on. So there is this onboarding and stakeholders follow-up team that assist the public administration throughout the end-to-end pilot development, just before, during, and after. As an outcome, the public administration successfully completes the test infrastructure pilot. The last service that the big data infrastructure already provided is a service desk, that it's your single point of contact. So, for example, in the request phase, as we already anticipate, we collect and classify your request, and so creating tickets in the trouble ticketing system and interacting directly with the users through the platform and through also phones and so on. During the pilot execution, also user can contact the service desk for any kind of technical issue. So here the needs is on the support, since a big data platform like that without support, maybe it is difficult to use it, and so on. So the service desk will take care of all the tickets. So, for example, about configuration problems, crashes or failures, and issues that may affect the big data test infrastructure pilot and software. And will take care within eight working hours. As an outcome, the public administration will receive updates regarding its problems and finally solving their problems. And the description of the already implemented services, we can go ahead with the services, the potential services to be implemented so in the near future. And I would like to pass the word to my colleague Aidan Selek. Thank you very much for your attention till now.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Aidan Selek, data scientist working for European Commission. As Simone already said, we already showed you the core services of BDTI, which are already implemented. And we already designed the service, Community Building and Innovation Portal, to be implemented in some next months. And then I will show you the additional services which is meant to implement in the future in 2019 till 2020. And I would like it will be an interactive section that you can say your opinions if you find this kind of service usable or not. First of all, I will start with Community Building and Innovation Portal. This is a service which is already designed and will be implemented in the next month. With this service, we are aiming at having a big data community where users can share knowledge and artifacts. There will be also tutorials, videos, materials about how to use big data technologies and moreover the analytics part. The users would like to share their own experience, also including their Python or R secrets, can be shareable through the function which will be similar to GitHub. So everybody can use this kind of, as Simone already said, everybody can foster their participation. Another service that we are thinking to implement, and I will ask for your votation after this service, and all the services that I will present after now, I will give for each of them 1 minute to let you vote, and you can use L, N, H, or directly low, medium, and high to show your low interest, medium interest, or high interest in the chat function. As already mentioned before, on BDTI, one can use her own data or can use the data catalog of BDTI. And in the data catalog of BDTI, we would like to just share basically the collection of the open data supplied through the European Data Portal, Context Broker, which is another self-building blocks about the smart cities. And also the users who use BDTI can leave their data on our storage if they want, and if the data is not confidential data. After their usage of BDTI, they can leave their data in BDTI, so the other users can also have more data about their use cases. In this way, we are aiming to have a valuable number of data sets. Of course, the sample data sets, we are not asking your whole database. For each, in this way, we are aiming to have a valuable number of data sets for each policy domain. Also, in addition, the implementation of the data exchange APIs is under analysis. Now I would like to give you 1 minute to vote this service in the chat function. So I would like to continue with the second service that I will require your votation. Thank you very much for the first one. It's Big Data and Analytics Software Catalog. This service provides a data analytics software catalog which helps the user who needs to understand which set of analytics software can be usable for a specific big data use case. This service provides a self-consulting. We also provide a similar service during the architecture design meetings once the user applies for a pilot. But for the user who needs a continuous support and would like to understand more and see the other possible softwares, we would like to implement also this kind of service about the software catalog. Another service needs to be voted by you is analytics as a service. This service provides a list of analytics functionalities which can be easily run. For example, if one user would like to do a text classification, and he can easily do this through a supplier's analytics software, or who would like to run any machine learning algorithms and easily would like to change the parameters and the hyperparameters without coding, can use this kind of sandbox. Of course, this is not the most professional way to use data science, but just for tests and pilot, we think that this can be useful. So I will pass to the last service, support for analytics implementation. This service is an additional support similar to service desk, which we provide for test infrastructure, but support for analytics implementation specifically for analytics. So user who needs to be supported on analytics during the pilot execution due to the lack of big data skills can ask for a support. And so they can easily implement their big data pilot with the support of European Commission.